Hey now, and welcome down to KC Toy Reviews. We are here today with the Doom Monarch by SH001. And well, if you haven't already guessed, this is Dr. Doom, probably one of the most iconic and classic villains of all time, brought to us in a 1/6 scale format. And I'm going to come right out of the gate and say it, this thing has been a goddamn catastrophe. And if you're at all curious what the hell's wrong with this thing, then let's go ahead and dive right the hell goddamn in. Alright, so here we are again with the Doom Monarch by SH001. Now we're going to nail a few things right in this shot right here, and I'm going to immediately show everybody and say these little gold pieces fell off right out of the box. So there's actually supposed to be a little nice prominent gold piece here, and then a little chain that hangs in between the two. And unfortunately, mine was a piece of crap, and they fell off immediately. On top of that, he had this nice oh my god! Look at his hood, caught his head. Isn't that kind of like the butterfly effect, what just happened? Because SH001 forgot my nice little gold pieces here. I shouldn't say forgot, because they put it together with a piece of crap quality, and I had to show people on film, and I ended up knocking him over. Technically, it's SH001's fault that I just knocked my figure over. But anyways, those two beautiful, nice gold chain pieces are not on my figure, and well, you're not going to believe what I was told. And I am going to shout this from the rooftops because it actually pissed me off, and this is what I was told when I reached out to the company and where I bought it from, is that I should quote-unquote hand sew them back on and glue the other pieces. And that's right, you're about to see other pieces that were smashed off of this thing upon arrival, and I've been told again to sew this thing back together and hand glue smashed off pieces back together. I'm goddamn 250 pounds, 6'2". How the hell am I going to hand sew little tiny buttons on this guy's goddamn chest? I mean, I don't even know if we can see it on film. You can kind of see it there. I basically need a goddamn microscope to see the hole there and to get that little string through that hole. And at the same time, I am genuinely disappointed that I don't have those two gold pieces on there. They look really nice in all the pictures, and now I just have these two little dangling strings there. It just looks crappy, and for $240, who the hell wants something to arrive with pieces falling off and the company to ask you to sew and glue it back together? That's like if you bought an Xbox, which, dare I say, is similar price to this goddamn thing, and it arrived broken, and Microsoft says, hey, do you mind soldering some of the chips back together? Put those electrical components back together and that thing will be back up and running right away. No, the store would replace it immediately. And before we dig into that, I guess, just a quick look at the hood here. Now, in all the promo pictures, I'm going to be brutally honest, the material of the suit in the hood did not look good to me. It almost looked like felt or something. But in hand, it does have a nice, heavy material to it. I don't mind the feel and look of it in hand so much. And actually, I think it drapes around the head pretty decently. I've seen a couple people complaining, but in my opinion, the stock hood is really not that bad. What is bad is this extra face sculpt. So we have this one, which I was super excited for. This looks like the classic Doom. I would actually prefer to have this one on here. You can kind of see this one flows and sticks on here. Oh, anyways, really nicely. I didn't mean to do that. This one, I mean, it just barely, see if we can show that horrible gap right there. I can push it, and then it kind of comes back down a little bit. So I don't know what the hell's going on with the quality of this thing. If I take this one off and show you the other one, beautiful. Clips on there nicely, nice and flush against the helmet. This one here again. Oh! The head fell off. Jesus Christ, my God. It's on a magnet, ball joint, whatever we want to call this, so technically that's my fault. I think it could have had a stronger magnet in there. The head has fallen off several times on me, so be very, very careful. SH001, stronger magnet next time. But yeah, this face sculpt, very disappointing that it just does not fit well on there. And then if we kind of get the hood manipulated on there, well, I guess it doesn't look horrible. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts below if you think this mask looks better or the other one. In my opinion, the other one looks better, but this is actually starting to get my attention once I get it to fit right. Cover that little atrocious gap up, but that is more of a classic Doom look. And then, of course, we have the complete maskless Dr. Doom look, which obviously they're running with some artistic freedom here. Dr. Doom basically does just have some charred up mangled face, so I think they did a good job with this. Zero complaints with this. I actually do like the... Oh my god, it's falling apart again! The goddamn magnet came out. S0. I mean, come on, buddy. How hard is it to get a nice adhesive or a glue? Use an epoxy or something. The goddamn thing will never come out with an epoxy. I cannot believe this thing is just falling. That is the third or fourth thing to fall apart on this piece. My God. Anybody want to buy this thing? For sale. Dr. Doom by S0 for sale by KZ. All right, I'm going to actually hold him by the legs because... as we saw in the last shot, this goddamn thing is falling apart on me. Still for sale. Comment below if you want to buy it. Sorry. I usually don't try to pawn these things off in my video. Maybe 190? I'm just kidding. 185 shipped. Okay. Anyways, just wanted to show this accessory off really quick. As you saw, you can kind of just take it, plug it on this hand, take it around, come around downtown right now. I actually don't mind this accessory. It does plug in here rather nicely. I'm not sure we're going to brag about an accessory. What I don't like next up is this super layered armor system here. So what I mean by that, let's get this thing off here before anything else breaks. We have a hand. We have this little loose gauntlet. Underneath it, we have another one. So these are two separate pieces here. And then we have the armband here. And on top of that, another magnet that's probably going to fall off because we know the adhesive these guys are using is not too good. So, come on, S0. What are we using? Elmer's glue up in here or something? Come on. All right. And the reason being is just very clunky. You know, as you're moving the arm up and down, there are so many clunky layers on here. I'm not sure what the point of not just making this one piece was, but this is just very clunky. The way the arms are, and this is going to probably sound weird, but if you're collecting, you will understand this. You really have to know the anatomy of how this arm underneath here bends. There is a little bit of, there's a swivel point here, so I can actually turn it back and forth. And the reason being is mine showed up with the arm like this, basically kind of turned around and backwards behind him. I mean, if you didn't know, you would snap that arm trying to get it into place. So quality of how this thing showed up as well. So you pair that with all these layers here, it is just kind of difficult. Look at the articulation. You can't really get much higher than that. I'm not even sure we're at a 90 degree. And past that, I'm starting to feel nervous. I'm feeling a little bit too much pressure on that thing. So I'm going to drop that back down there. Now, the other accessory that I am baffled about is this one. So we see this little peg here. It's meant to go in the back of this book. And right at the bottom, you can see there's a little peg hole. So it's supposed to hold the book. Put the peg in there. And I'm doing this on camera basically like the first and second time trying this. So I'm not trying to just make anybody laugh. I can't get it to work. So no matter what angle I try to finagle or get that thing in there, it falls out. So again, we got magnets all around downtown on the neck, on the face piece there. I mean, why didn't we just do some type of magnet system? Make this book way less heavy. It has some weight to it, and it should have just magnetized to the hand. Well, I mean, I say that, but based off of the Elmer glue situation, maybe that's why we didn't go with the magnets. But anyways, I can't get this thing. Maybe if I do it upside down, I can get it to peg in there. There we go. You just read the book upside down. Anyways, you do have this nice little book. I actually thought this was a cool accessory. Nice details, nice paint application on this. I thought it was a little funny that as you see these inner pages here, it's almost like they give you replacement pages. I mean, this is probably one of the stupidest accessories I've ever seen. Woo! who the hell is going to take this page off or put this page over it because we want to know, you know, the elemental correspondence or whatever hell that says versus this? I mean, who cares what's inside this little book? Nobody's going to ever see. This is just complete waste of money for including this. This was good enough as is. Nobody's ever going to replace that and put those in there. It just makes no sense whatsoever. And then we have this little chalice cup. Cool little accessory. I mean, same thing on the book. Nice paint application. I actually don't mind this accessory. And I usually don't show off hands, but let's take a look for a second and pause. What are we missing? Take a look. It's like a little trivia. What are we missing in these pairs of hands? Closed, fisted hands. One of the most absolute crucial pieces of a 1/6 scale is they should all come with a pair of closed-fisted hands. All he comes with are these blaster, open-palmed, clutched type of hands, which was super disappointing. Now, again, as far as the tailoring, it's really not that bad. Snugly fit. I don't mind the material. So that piece, the cape, everything, I don't even think I'm going to go too detailed on the cape. It is what it is. As you see here, it's all one straight material throughout. It's not horrible. I'm not complaining too much. What my next gripe was is these little diddling, dangling little pieces on the end here. That drives me nuts. I don't know why there wasn't a way to fasten those down a little bit more snug. And then we have this gun pouch back here. So yeah, pretty stereotypical gun pouch, leather, pleather, whatever type of material it is here. The oddity was that the gun that we see here was die cast and it is very heavy. Now knowing what we've seen through this video as he's literally fallen apart and the Elmer's glue that's all over him, I would be very careful if you do have this piece and you put a die-cast weapon in that pleather/leather material because it is very loosely tied on there. It makes no sense to have a die-cast weapon on this piece. I don't know if it's just bragging rights that these companies are doing this lately. You could absolutely have a plastic gun that looks exactly like this as long as it has a nice paint application and nobody would know the difference. And then it would be a lot less weight on that pouch in the back. And then last up, I'm going to hold it. I am so nervous. He's fallen like 2 times as I prepped for this shot here. Would be his legs. So they look pretty nice. A little clunky, kind of like the arms, as I said. The articulation on them is not the greatest. Probably is a double jointed, but because of all this plastic looking metal stuff on here, I mean, I don't know. I don't have too much complaints on the legs. The articulation and the way they move is not horrible in my opinion. What is another atrocity, oh, that ankle looks a little jacked up right there, is that my knee thing came snapped off. So whatever we want to call this little spike on his knee, I'm supposed to have one right here, and mine came snapped off in the box. So this was the thing that I was told to glue back on. As we can see, it is literally, see right in there, it is literally snapped off. Gluing that back on is really just basically a Band-Aid. If I put any pressure on it or try to articulate it with some just normal glue, the same thing's going to happen with the Elmer's glue that S-Hero used on it. It's just going to fall off. And if you're at all curious what Dr. Doom's ass looks like, there it is. You know what? I think I have another issue. As I've been messing with the foot, look at how loose the foot is. Oh my God. Like a floppy fish penis or something. And then we do have this nice branded stand, kind of that Dr. Doom. You notice there's a Doom right in his mouth there, but that Dr. Doom picture printed on top there, Doom logo right in the front. I mean, zero complaints with the stand. Crotch grabber, I do prefer that over a waist grabber. And especially based off of how many times he has fallen face first in this video and that wobbly foot that's starting to happen, I am absolutely going to keep him on this stand all the time. And of course, lastly, a quick side-by-side with Captain America, aka Steve Rogers. Both Dr. Doom and Captain America have battled countless times over the years, so I am very excited to have these guys side by side. They are a very classic hero and villain combo. However, my question is, and comment your thoughts below, is the scale accurate? I wouldn't think that Captain America would actually tower over Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom was always a full-size dude. I don't remember him being this short, so I think the scale looks a little bit off. It looks a little bit goofy in my opinion, but I could be wrong. Put that aside, they still look fantastic and awesome next to one another. Just wish my Dr. Doom had those nice gold buttons and chains on his chest. Goddamn Elmer's glue. And there we have it. The Doom Monarch by S. Hero. Now obviously, this thing is a goddamn travesty. We have quality controls from top to bottom, left to right, up and down, come around downtown. This thing's out of control. And as a massive fan of Dr. Doom, and especially Marvel comic villains, I mean, in the 1/6 scale world, villains are very rare. We're popping out heroes left and right, but the villains always take the back seat. So the fact that we were introduced to an iconic villain in a 1/6 scale format, I think everybody in the community was extremely excited. I mean, as it spins in front of me, other than the little belt pieces that are sticking out that drive me nuts, I mean, shelf presence doesn't look horrible. But of course, in the process, as you pose him, bend him, and put that Elmer's glue to test, this guy is going to fall apart. I can already see tons of comments in the groups saying that other people are having very similar experiences to me. And with two other figures on the horizons, I mean, we need to stress S-Hero just announced an animated series Superman and an animated series Batman. I am just crossing my fingers that they figure out what happened wrong here, they correct it going forward, and they stop using Elmer's glue. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse and go through everything that was wrong with this thing again. We're just going to swing this right into a score at this point. And I hate to say it, what really comes to mind, and I always stress this, these scores are just what I feel. It's kind of like a gut instinct. What immediately comes out is a 4.2 out of 10. I cannot rate this thing purely by shelf presence. I've said this and I will say it again. It is nearly the price of a goddamn Xbox. And when I pay $240 for an item, I expect it to be flawless. S-Hero, I really hope you guys get your stuff together. You push forward in the quality department, not the quantity, and figure out what went wrong here and how to correct it going forward. And to my audience with a 4.2 out of 10, I absolutely cannot suggest this piece. If you're a diehard must-have Dr. Doom fan, then perhaps just be very goddamn careful as you mess with it. I'm thinking that I can use the fur coat that fell off as a pillow for some of my daughter's Barbie pieces, so maybe there's some use with that. And with all that said, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here today with a 4.2 out of 10 with this piece of crap in front of us. It might look decent, but under the hood, this is one of the worst I have seen in a long time. Catch you guys next time. Doom Monarch. I'm sure something's going to fall apart as I do this or fall everywhere. See you guys later. Casey out.